Hey everyone, just going to do a quick question, mainly because this is quite a personal message to the guy that sent it, and I actually had a conversation very similar to a guy who signed up to my program last week. He's outside the top 50, but he's getting on great with the program. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but I'm just going to give you a quick kind of read through of his message. He's like, I'm 6'1" in height, I'm obese and I'm very overweight, I'm 18 stone, I have large man boobs, fat around my chest, stomach areas. I've tried other PTs in the past. I can start things, but I just can't seem to finish them. That's just a paraphrase of the message, and you know, this guy is a guy, but I get this from girls as well all the time. People that where you want to make a change and you're not able to make the change because you're not able to see, you know, through it. I actually have a whole section in my book in the how to set goals and your motivation section and the mindset section that's coming out in October. So I'm going to expand a little bit on that now and what I have found that's worked for me and worked for my clients, helping them stay on track. If you find you're somebody that's doing well in the beginning and is very motivated, because you tend to, it's very easy to stay motivated in the beginning of things. When something is difficult, you can push past the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and it's after that that people tend to hit their plateaus and hit their stagnation. My biggest advice is to find yourself a trainer or a coach or somebody who is going to make sure that you're constantly progressing, and not necessarily by them talking to you, but that you're doing a program or a plan that you're constantly progressing in. I had this exact conversation with the guy that signed up to my program last week about how to stay motivated. He asked me, he's like, what's your tip for staying motivated? And the reality is progress is addictive. I always had when I used to work one-to-ones, now I've only got a couple of my one-to-ones, my VIPs that are abroad, but my philosophy with my team and everyone I work with is I always wanted to give people the tools to go off and do it themselves. Like if I sign somebody up for 6 weeks or 12 weeks, I want by the end of those 6 or 12 weeks that you're able to go and do it yourself. I've got my client Andy in Switzerland who signed up for my 6 weeks online, and he's literally like, I'm starting to get all the tools I need to go out on my own. That's always been my philosophy. The irony of it is people tend to stay because progress is addictive. So what you need to do is find a program and a plan that you're progressing in, because it's very easy to stay motivated when you're seeing the changes. There's a great video from one of my favorites, Greg Plitt, where he talks about Alexander Graham Bell or Thomas Edison when he's inventing the light bulb, and how he's failed over 1,000 times inventing the light bulb. And he's like, he was talking about his story about how he went to school, he was slow in school, his parents, he had to be held back, his school called him in and talked to his parents, they're like, your kid's gotta go, he's holding back the betterment of the entire class, and Thomas Edison, he failed and he went to school and he failed and he got jobs, he got sacked and he failed and he failed and he failed and he failed. And then the light bulb hit. He ended up creating the light bulb after 1,000 attempts, where he failed 1,000 times and still managed to push on. It's funny because the majority of us will fail once and then we'll stop, and I get that, because if I failed at something 1,000 times, I would find it very, very difficult to keep going with it. But on the flip side of that, if you find something that you're progressing in and getting better in, it's very easy to stay motivated, because that motivation is constant. I've had clients, like I've got one of my girls, I won't mention her name, she's down I think nearly 4 stone. Like she is constantly seeing progress, and you're setting your bar against you. You're not comparing yourself against other people, because then you're going to be constantly unhappy. Like if you're 18 stone, or 15 stone or whatever it is, you're trying to get down to 17 stone, then you're trying to get to 16 stone, then you're trying to get to 15 stone. You're not trying to go from 18 to 10 stone overnight, because you can't do that. You need to have a program and plan where you're progressing and moving in the right direction. In my book, I talk about setting mini goals. Me and my head trainer, Paul, we do this with our clients, and I do it with my online team, where we set mini goals where you are like, okay, either a time over a 6-week period, but generally having something tangible helps. So if you want to look good for a wedding or an event or for the summer or whatever it is, you have a time frame that you're working in. I'm setting a guy up for a photo shoot at the end of this month, the end of July, the end of next month. So that's his target now, is to get ready for that photo shoot, because it's a tangible goal that you're setting towards, and you set your mini goals along the way. It's very hard to say I'm 18 stone and I want to be 10 stone. But your mini goal can be, okay, I want to get to 17 stone. I want my clothes to fit looser in 2 weeks' time. I want to take a progress photo in the mirror and look a little bit leaner in 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time or whatever it is. So setting those mini goals set you up for success, because what happens is if you set the goal too big and you miss and keeping the big picture in mind helps, but the reality is setting the goal too big can allow you to fall off because you'll get demotivated by the fact that you're not there yet. So setting mini goals along the way is going to help you massively. So don't have the bigger picture in mind. Always know where you want to be and know what you want to look like and know what you want to have, but set many things along the way so that you're constantly progressing and moving forward. Now, if you're going backwards, that's different. You know, if you're following a program or working with, you know, somebody that and you're not moving forward, that's different, you know. But you do need to find a program, find a plan that you can move forward on, find a trainer or a coach that you can work with that's going to be able to keep you progressing, whether it's hands-on, one-to-one, online, or just a program or plan that they've created. You know, something that moves you forward, you know, and then setting mini goals along the way so that you never get disheartened by the fact that you're not at the end goal. Keep the end goal in mind, you know, but use the mini goals along the way. Also, as I said, if you're 18 stone, start, you know, your clothes are your best indicator of how you're progressing. You know, in 2 weeks time, your clothes should be a little bit looser, your jeans should be a little bit looser, your trousers should be a little bit looser. I got a message from a girl this morning who's on my program, and she's like, I'm actually gonna have to throw out my entire wardrobe, you know. So there are things that you need to use as your motivation when you think you're not progressing, because sometimes you are getting better and you don't see it yourself. So use your indicators, use your photos, use your clothing, use those things as tracking and monitoring. For you at 18 stone, you could probably use a scale. You know, a weighing scale is going to give you a good gauge of how your body's responding. So that's my advice to you is, you know, find somebody that's going to help you, support you, what you're doing. Make sure you're constantly progressing. You know, progress is addictive. That's how you stay motivated. And then set your mini goals along the way. So every week or every 2 weeks, have another mini goal that you want, you know, to be a little bit looser in your jeans, or you want a t-shirt to fit you, or you want to fit into a new dress, or whatever it is. Set those mini goals, and that'll keep you on track long term. Hope this video helps. If you've got any comments, again, not really a fitness thing, it's more just kind of a mindset, goal set thing. So if you have any questions, put them down below and I'll be replying for the next 24 hours.